Hi everybody, Dr. Olivia Joseph here. So today we're going to talk about the organic scam. Now if you're tuning in because you think I'm going to poo-poo organic foods or tell you to stop wasting your time and money buying organic, you should probably tune out because that is advice you're certainly not going to get from me. But here's why I want to talk about this topic. And it's a topic I'm very passionate about, and I'm going to be honest with you, bothers me when I hear people giving out the wrong information or the false information. Now, I'm not an organic farmer. I am a functional medicine practitioner. And any doctor who practices functional medicine deals with toxicity, patients with high levels of toxicity, and does detoxification within their practice. So eating organic and having lower levels of toxicity is something that you see go hand in hand. So here's why I'm posting about this topic. One is I've had people private message me on Facebook and Messenger linking an article that was published in Forbes saying that, I have this quoted, that organic foods do not provide significant health benefits compared with conventionally grown foods and are not worth the extra expense just because they are organic. So this is something that I would like to debunk. So first of all, there are some things I do need you to understand about organic foods. When you purchase an organic food, it does not mean that that food contains more nutrients than the non-organic version. That's not the purpose or the benefit of eating organic. You're not going to get higher levels of nutrients in organic broccoli than non-organic broccoli. So then why would you waste the money on organic broccoli? So first of all, I do want to talk to you about what is going to be the most nutrient dense version of that food. And that's one that is locally grown and one that is in season. So why locally grown? Because if you take broccoli, organic or conventionally grown, and you cut it from its source, its plant source, and it sits on a ship for weeks, as it's being shipped to the grocery store, it's losing nutrients quickly. Versus if you show up this weekend at your local farmer's market and that farmer, whether it's organically grown or not, cut that broccoli from the stem on Friday and you got it on Saturday, it's going to have a significantly more, it's going to have a higher level of nutrients, significantly higher. The nutrients drop quickly in food when it's taken from its life source, especially when it's taken from its life source prematurely. So let me put this in perspective. When I was a kid, strawberries were not available at the grocery store 12 months out of the year. Strawberries were something that we relished and savored when in the early summer months. I remember my mom even taking me strawberry picking. We'd eat them right off the vine and they were the most delicious strawberries I've ever had. And if you go to your local farmer's market, you can talk to the farmers, whether they're certified organic or not. You can ask them, do you use pesticides at all on your farm? If you do, what type of pesticides do you use? Tell me how you raise your animals. How do they live? What are the conditions? Where do you feed them? And if you can actually talk to your farmer and develop a relationship with the farmer, you're going to have more information about where your food came from than if you bought it organic or conventional. So let's get something straight right now. Just because you eat an organic food doesn't mean it has more nutrients. With that said, I'm still suggesting you eat organic whenever possible, and I'm going to tell you why. So please try to find foods that are seasonal and in season. And I've created blog posts and shopping lists of foods that are in season. But let's be honest, it's different region to region. Here in the St. Louis area, our climate is different than the mountain range, than the East Coast, than the West Coast. If you're north, if you're south, it's all different. So go to your local markets, talk to your local farmers about how what their practices are in growing their food. Because I'm going to tell you, I'm not an organic food farmer. I'm far from it. And many of my followers are organic farmers. So I would encourage you to post your comments on these things. The next thing I want to talk to you about is pesticides. Some people are under the impression that organic foods don't contain pesticides or herbicides. Unfortunately, that's not true. Organic foods can contain pesticides and herbicides. So let's just get something straight. One concern is if it's an organic food, the pesticide has to come from natural sources, such as zinc, sulfur, and copper. And I will tell you that certain forms of copper and certain forms of zinc can be particularly toxic to the body. But here's the thing, your body recognizes that toxin as a natural toxin and it can quickly eliminate it because it's a nature-made toxin, not a man-made synthetic toxin that's poisonous to our nervous system, that's stored in fat and glandular tissue like a xenoestrogen, which is a man-made estrogen that does what? Accumulates in your body, increasing your risk for hormone-positive cancer. This is why everybody switched to glass and BPA-free plastic and stainless steel containers. There's a reason behind it. Because your body knows what to do with toxins. You have this beautiful detoxification system built right here into this pharmacy. So organic foods can contain 3 categories of pesticides and herbicides. They're called biopesticides, organic pesticides, or minimum risk pesticides. Again, these pesticides are not used in all organic farming. There are certain organic farming practices that prevent the need for pesticides. But sometimes if an overgrowth of pests occurs, an organic farmer is not going to lose their entire crop because of these pests, so to speak. So there are natural pesticides that can be used. Now again, there's some articles out there saying that these natural pesticides are more toxic than Roundup or glyphosate. Your body knows what to do with copper and zinc and sulfur. Your body recognizes it and can eliminate it through your kidneys, your liver, urination, bowels. These toxins are not nervous system toxins and they are not fat soluble toxins. Those are the most toxic substances you could put in your body. So one concern we get with organic farming is that if you use an organic pesticide, you have to use higher amounts than a synthetic pesticide like a glyphosate. So a farmer might say, well, I'd only have to use 1 round or maybe 2 of glyphosate, but if I use an organic pesticide, I might have to use 7, 8, 9, 10 applications. So here's what you need to understand about toxicity. It matters the substance, whether it came from nature or whether it came from a laboratory. Because when it comes from nature, your body can recognize it and eliminate it more efficiently. I'm not saying it's not toxic, it's still toxic, but it is not a nervous system toxin or a fat soluble toxin. Your body can safely, quickly, and efficiently eliminate it. The other concern with toxins is the amount that you are actually exposed to. There are a lot of natural toxins in our environment. A lot. And we cannot avoid them. And a big reason for this is in the United States of America, our EPA, our Environmental Protection Agency, allows a lot more toxins than are allowed in Europe, so to speak. Even organic pesticides, some that we allow here in the United States of America, are banned in Europe. That's why it's so important to eat local. Talk to your farmers, find out what their farming practices are, visit your farms. And to all of my patients and my followers out there that do practice organic farming, please share information in the comments. I have the beautiful opportunity to talk to you. Please share your wisdom and information because again, I might be a functional medicine practitioner that specializes in detoxification and autoimmune disease and hormones, but I am not a farmer. So you guys can shed a lot of insight on this topic. Here's the other thing, and please listen closely. I had the opportunity to meet with the CEO and founder of a new docuseries that launches next week called GMOs Revealed. We had some pretty incredible, deep conversation on this topic. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I'm the expert. What I do have access to in the field of natural health care and in the field of functional medicine, I have access to communicate with and speak to some of the leading minds on this topic. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect you to these experts, because I'm not the expert on this topic, but I will certainly myself find the experts, talk to them, and connect you with access to these experts as well. So tomorrow, when the link to sign up for this free docuseries called GMOs Revealed becomes public, I will share it on my page so all of you have access to interviews with the leading experts on organic and non-GMO foods. These experts are all over the world and still being interviewed. So I'm going to connect you with the connections that I have on these topics specifically. As always, I really enjoy reading your comments, answering your questions on this topic and others. And if you're going to ask me, do I eat organic? You bet. Because it's not just about pesticides and herbicides, it's about where they come from. It's about the accumulation of them in our system, and it's about helping our body assist in detoxifying synthetic toxins, because those are the really disgusting toxins that really increase our risk for dysfunction and imbalance. So thank you for tuning into this controversial topic. I'm just trying to connect you to the right information. And of course, as always, I want to share my education with you on this topic specifically. So please, please eat organic, free range, grass-fed, wild caught, whenever possible. But more importantly, find out where your food is coming from. Do your research and find out what foods are local to your region and when they are in season, because that's where you're going to get your greatest nutrient density, not in eating organic. Thank you very much. Thanks for tuning in.